Now it's time to upgrade our app to the Influencer API. So the first simple changes that I will make is by removing the container name here, because we will not be using admin anymore. Change the database name to Influencer. I will remove also the container name here, and I will change the database Influencer here. So that's it for the Docker Compose. Now let's try to run it on our terminal. Up. Let's wait till it's completed. Now Docker is running successfully. Let's open a new tab and go inside the Docker container. Docker compose exec backend sh. Now we are inside the Laravel project, and now let's create the database. PHP artisan migrate. So we got an error, known database influencer. So we have to create the influencer schema. We have the admin schema here. I will create a new schema called influencer. And now let's write PHP artisan migrate again. So the migration are working. Now run PHP artisan passport install. And run PHP artisan db seed. Now the influencer database is completed and seeded. Now let's add some new functionality. This is the route for the users. We want now to make this route only available on the admin side. So we want to change this API, localhost 8000 API /admin/users. Admin in this case is a project that we want to separate the APIs. Now let's add it on our API.php. We will add another parameter here, which is prefix. Prefix is admin. So this will attach the admin in front of every other route. So if we try this route now, it will work the same. If we remove admin, it will fail. So this is how you add a prefix to our API. We won't be adding a prefix for the login and the register, because both the admin and the influencer will use the same routes, and we will separate them with scopes, which we will learn later. Now that we added the prefix, we need also to separate the controllers. So if we go to HTTP controllers, all these controllers except out controller belong to the admin. And for the influencer, we will kind of have the same controller, but they will have different functionality. So we will group them into another folder that we will create it admin. Now let's move all these controllers to the admin folder. And let's change the namespaces. So we don't actually need this controller here. We can remove this file and change the namespaces here. This should be admin, and we will remove the extend controller. Let's do the same for the other controllers. So for all the controllers, I added the /admin namespace and I removed extends controller. Now let's go to our api.php and we have to set the namespace here, namespace, which is admin with a uppercase A, because the namespaces here are with uppercase. This is the same as if I did it like this, admin slash dashboard controller, etc. But instead of adding it here, I will add it to the namespace directly. And the endpoints should work correctly now. Let's try it. So they do work correctly. So now we grouped all the admin controllers inside one folder. Now we are ready to add the influencer controllers and the influencer APIs. Now let's create the products for the influencer. Let's create first the controller. PHP artisan make controller influencer product controller. So this controller will be created inside influencer folder. So the folder now looks like this. So this is the product controller now. Let's remove this extends here and this namespace and add an index function. Here we will return all the products. So let's add the route now. Let's go to api.php and we will do the same here. So let's copy these groups here and close it here. So the middleware, we don't need the auth API because the product route will be public. The prefix will be influencer and the namespace will be influencer. Here we will add route get products product controller index. Let's see it on Postman. Let's copy this URL, paste it here and go to api/influencer/products. So all the products will appear now. So everything works fine. Now that we got all the products, we want to give the option to filter these products. The frontend will have a search input where they can filter the products. To search, we will use query string parameters and we will get them via the request. So let's get the search variable, which will be request input s. Now we need to filter the products via this search variable. First, I will split this product all here. I will create a query here, which is equal to product query. And I will return query get. This is basically the same as product all. So I will make a query and I will get all the products. If I open Postman, it will be the same result. So nothing has changed. Now let's cut this statement here and add an if condition. if the search is set, we will filter the query, and we will use a where row function. So here we will filter by title, like. So I will use the double quotes here, because the single quotes will be used here. And inside the like, I will add 2 percentages, and here we will add our variable s. So the title will like this search string that we set. Let's try it on our postman. So I will put s here, which is equal to, I will use it directly here, I will use this word. Let's send the request. We can see that it's filtered. We have 3 products now. So if I use this other word here, I will get other products. So I will have only 1 product here. So the filter works fine. So let's add the filter also for the description. So we will add the same thing here. Description. Now it will search also for the description, but it won't work as we want, because if we use this word now, we will have no products, because the query will search for the title and the description that matches this string. But we want an OR condition, so OR where row. This is a function that we want. If we use this function, we will see that we get more products. Now the last thing that we have to change is to use a product resource here, which it won't change much, but is a good practice to have. So now that we have data here, and the format is kind of different. Now let's add more common routes. The user routes are common for the admin and the influencer, so I will add them here. I will also add the middleware auth API, since we need the user to get logged in to access these routes. So these are the common routes. So here I will comment common. Here I will comment admin, and here I will comment influencer. Now there is a problem with these routes. These routes belong to the user controller, and if we go to the user controller, we have also here routes that belong to the admin. So the way to simplify this is to cut these routes that we want to add to the common and add them to the auth controller. So here we have login, register, and we will paste these other methods. Let's go back to the api.php, and we will change user controller here to auth controller, and the user controller for the admin will be the same.